Lily, again, we apologize. Why don't we move on to our topic of the evening? Here's the main event, folks.
So good.
That was good, Bob. That was very, very good. All right. Well, folks, if you've been living under a rock, then allow us to try to get you out of it, because Frankenstein came out last Friday on Netflix. It's one that we have been very much anticipating on this show. So we are glad that we are finally able to talk about it. It did get that limited release to theaters. I think both Bob and Lily, both of you checked that out in the theaters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to get into this, but boy, could this have used a theater release, because this was something.
Cool.
All right, go back to the guest first. Lily, kick us off here.
Hold on, real quick before you do, let's go ahead and let's give our spoiler warning.
Oh, right.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Arnold kind of sounds like Frankenstein.
What's kind of funny though is that you kind of can't spoil this movie because you had like 100 years to watch the first or read the book or something. But still.
But go ahead, please.
Yes. So I actually searched for the biggest screen that I could watch this on, and it happened to be the Alamo Draft House. And I actually even changed seats so that I could have a better view of it. Poor people at Alamo, I'm sorry, but thank you guys for letting us switch our seats, because I'm those people. I was like, nope, this isn't perfect enough. I'm too far away. I need to move. You guys need to move me. So I made them move me after like 10 minutes. That is how much I was looking forward to seeing this movie. Cool. I literally had the website for the movie on my phone, and every single day I was refreshing to see when they were gonna have showings where I live. And finally the ones for the Alamo popped up, their biggest screen, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So that's how much I was looking forward to it. I was like, I need to see. It's not going to be enough watching this at home, and it's definitely not enough watching it at home. It's still in theaters, so I don't know what's going on with the camera. Great. No, it's like, nope. There you go. There we go. But yeah, it's still in theaters, and I think they've actually expanded how many theaters it's in because it's doing so well. So I highly suggest that if you have one near you, even if it's 45 minutes away, even if it's an hour away, and you can make the trip, take a little mini road trip. That's how good this movie is. That's how much I love this movie. Honestly, I didn't know what I was gonna expect at first, because like I've mentioned, the Frankenstein monster has never been something that's kind of caught my attention. But with Guillermo del Toro's name attached to this project, and I love all of his movies, he has an excellent like just like Quentin Tarantino, you can go down all the movies that Guillermo del Toro has made, and there's a very few that you can say are bad movies. So as soon as I saw that he was the one that was going to be making this, I was like, all right, I'm on board. Let's do this. And of course, he loves his practical effects. He does not like to use CGI where he can't, where he doesn't want to. And you could tell with this movie that he used a lot of practical effects, especially all the sets with the labs and the makeup and all of those things. All practical. Like he's just amazing. We could have an entire live stream just on Guillermo del Toro. Like he's awesome. And then of course, Oscar Isaac is another really great actor. I really love him. Mia Goth, of course, is one of the Scream Queens. I love her. And I was excited to see Jacob Elordi too. I've seen him on Euphoria, and he's never been somebody that I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go see everything that he's in. But I was definitely paying attention after he was in Saltburn. I know that was a weird movie for a lot of people, but I was like, okay, maybe he's not just pretty. After this movie, I'm a huge fan. I hope that this movie gets all the Oscars. I hope everybody wins an Oscar. Like, I hope that Jacob Elordi gets nominated for an Oscar, and I hope he wins because he did such an amazing job. Like, I don't even know where to start with this movie, guys. It's so good. Like, just I guess we'll start with the way that it looks. It's beautiful. It's del Toro. The color, all of the colors have a meaning. Everything they're wearing, their costumes, everything is like huge symbolism. If you're paying attention, you'll kind of pick up on a lot of things too, things that he focuses on as well. It's just a beautiful movie. If you didn't like it, you can at least admit that it's a beautiful looking movie. And then the acting for me is probably what got me the most. Like I said, Jacob, he did an amazing job. Like, first when you start, and it's broken down in like 3 sections, you get the prelude, you get Victor's story, and then you get the creature story. So during Victor's part, I am a medical professional, so for me this is something that always hits me a little bit strongly because I always want to skate the line of, yes, push advancements as far as you can take them, but at the same time, is it moral? Is it ethical? Like, these are questions that you constantly have to ask yourself. I was not prepared. So there's a scene in the movie where Victor's giving like a demonstration of what he wants to do.
Oh God, yes.
I was not prepared for that because, like I said, as a medical professional, to me, that was so grotesque.
Yeah.
Because it's like somebody who used to be alive that he's just showing to a room full of people.
Yeah.
And to me, I've thought of all the countless times that when I used to be a nurse and all the people that used to expire on our shifts at the hospital and how we used to treat them with so much care, even though that person was gone. And then to see Victor just display somebody like that in front of an audience, to me, it hit me very hard and it was difficult to watch because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so like unethical. And it's like going against everything that we've been taught in medicine. But then at the same time, you're like, wait, but how did he do that? And how is that possible? So it's always like a constant battle of, yes, we need to make discoveries, but should we do it? And just like Jurassic Park, just because you can, sometimes doesn't mean that you should. So that's another lesson that you learned from this movie big time. So yeah, Victor's part was definitely like very curious, very piqued my interest, especially when he's building the creature. That's probably one of my favorite scenes. I know a lot of people probably think it's gross because there's body parts and blood and gore everywhere. But to me, seeing anatomy like that was pretty fascinating. I was like, wow, this is great. And I love the upbeat waltz that they're playing while he's building the creature because it looks disgusting and grotesque. But this waltz is basically like Victor's state of mind because he's so happy.
Yeah.
He's so happy. And it's like the music doesn't match what you're seeing. But if you think about it from Victor's perspective, that's what he's feeling. So that's where it makes sense. So I love that scene so much. And then probably my favorite part of the whole movie is the creature's tale. Like, it just, oh my gosh. Like, it made me cry so much through this whole movie. Like, I have like no tears left from how much I've cried over this movie. Like I said, Jacob Elordi did such a great job. And it wasn't just like his movements and the way that he was, portraying the creature, but it was his eyes. There's just like something about his eyes that he's like under all this makeup, but he can tell you so much just with his eyes, even before the creature started like actually speaking in sentences. And I think Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi did such a great job that I can't even watch that scene where Victor's angry and loses it on him and starts beating him. That is so hard for me to watch. Like, I just can't. It hurts my heart. Like that whole scene where they're at the lab and Victor is so frustrated because he wants him to talk and he thinks that he made a mistake because he's not intelligent, but he's not thinking about it, that he's brand new to the world. You're basically his dad. You need to teach him things. Like, obviously he's intelligent because he said your name. And there's just like little things that happen in The Creature's Tale that just like get me, because that part where Victor goes in to listen to his heartbeat, but the creature puts his arm around him because he's seeing him like his dad.
Yeah.
But if you look at that and you think about it from Victor's perspective, he doesn't care. He's just listening to the fact that he succeeded to the heartbeat. But to the creature, like that's his dad. He just wants like warmth, affection, and just to be loved. And that's what you see like throughout the whole thing. And that's why I'm a mess of sobs, because I'm
Real quick,
my gosh.
Real quick, Lily, I want to piggyback off of what you just said about how the creature is wanting love and warmth and affection. It's interesting because right before Victor goes in to listen to the heartbeat and the creature embraces him, Victor shows him the sun, warmth, brightness, and stuff that the creature would feel good about. And then all of a sudden Victor comes in to listen, and so the creature's thinking, oh, this is great, I got this warmth, I got this affection. And the very next scene, what does he do? He takes him down to the dungeon and locks him in chains.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand anything that's happening to him.
Mentality.
He doesn't understand what he's doing wrong and why Victor's being so cruel. And that's why I love Mia Goth when she comes in too and she tells him like when she basically tells him, yeah, the only thing that he keeps repeating is your name because that's the only thing that matters to him right now. Like that's his world. And it's just like it just chokes me up, everything that happens. Like when he meets the family and like the old man, and oh my god, like another scene that had me sobbing too is finally when he starts talking to the old man and like he's all sad, and then the old man's like, no, like we could be friends. And then like he takes his hand and pats his head and he says friend, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna lose it. And then of course you know what's gonna happen. Right. The old man dies. Yeah. And it's like he's so but to me, I guess that's what it stayed, and that's what I like this interpretation of Frankenstein versus like I guess if you've seen the 94 version, is that despite everything that's happened to him, like all of these negative things, like Victor being cruel to him and like the hunters trying to kill him and like the old man dying, like all of these tragedies have been happening to him, but he just keeps being kind. And he just keeps being nice to people. And he just wants love and companionship. And that's all that he's looking for. And I think that's what I love about the most. And I like the ending that's changed as well, that he gets to forgive Victor in the end before he dies. And like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I'm going to start crying. I'm gonna start crying if I keep going. Like, it's just good. It's a really good movie. I'm sorry, I've already been talking for like 20 hours.
No, it's great.
It's because it's a good. There's just so much to talk about this movie. But like, I'll shut up and I'll let you guys go, and like before I take up the whole rest of the hour.
No, it's all right. We'll all have a lot to say about it. So
yeah,
Josh, your turn.
I want to ask you guys. I'm probably going to get busted from you guys about this. You're probably going to say it's a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Oh, no.
The whole reason for him to create the monster, was it his infatuation about kind of bringing the death back?
I just personally, what I think, it's because when his mother died and the father was not able to save her, he had this this view that he wanted to be able to conquer death, this desire, this obsession to be able to conquer that. And it's his obsession that rules him for that entire movie. And it's not until his own disappointment comes in, because he realized that in his mind, he didn't succeed because the creature wasn't what he expected.
Right.
That he begins to feel regret, but it's an obsession with wanting to conquer death and master that. And in a way, he's playing God with that. Right. And I love what the brother tells him, Victor, you're the monster.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So it wasn't a stupid question. So I was right on that. Okay.
We had Walter drop in here. Hey, Walter.
Nice. So I really, really like this movie. For a shock for Bob, who didn't think I would.
I was shocked.
Couple of things. Number one, I thought it was visually stunning. Just like what Lily said, the snow, the way everybody looked, it was just amazing. The wolves, you know, the what do you call it? The pirates or the seamen, you know, the men, and just it all looked great. Number two, fantastic storytelling. Loved how they broke it up and they went to the past. They brought it back to the present. I really thought that was a great idea. And I don't remember the book. It was over 20 years ago. And so I really enjoyed what they did with this. I thought the chemistry between Oscar Isaac and what's his name? Jacob Elordi was fantastic. And it was very interesting with Elizabeth, how she came in. And, you know, she had a infatuation with the monster. And you knew she was going to get killed. I mean, it was pretty obvious. I want to piggyback on what Lily said about the whole, the part that scared me when they're in the school or and the creature comes alive, the body comes alive, you know, and starts screaming, because I went to chiropractic school. I dealt with cadavers. And so it definitely makes you think about ethics, and you deal with people who had died. And here is someone who is playing with death and basically trying to stimulate the nervous system and the lymphatic system. And really was just an interesting tell. I thought it was amazing because the monster, when he gets on the boat and you think that's it, and Oscar Isaac says, come after me, leave him alone. And then all of a sudden the monster becomes human a little bit and says, well, now it's time for me to tell my story. And then that's where you have the part 2 or chapter 2, however you want to phrase it. And, you know, it starts with him in the flames, and then everything that he did. And he just wanted to be loved. That was a big thing, is he wanted to be loved, but how he looked. Now, I wasn't a huge fan on his look. I did like him with the long hair. I thought that was a better look than what, Bob?
You weren't a fan of his look. It looked great. It looked great.
He didn't look like Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Are you gonna be one of the people that said that he was too handsome of a Frankenstein?
No, not at all. It's still I still like the look with the.
You wanted to see the forehead with the bolts and all of that.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah, he wanted that's what I thought it was going to be. But I'm okay with how they did it. I'm okay.
He wanted to see Herman Munster walk out there going.
Yeah. Was this Twilight Frankenstein for you, Josh?
It was. It very was.
Okay.
That is offensive, Josh. That is offensive.
But I still liked it. I liked it. I did not think, Bob was like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't think it was boring. It was not boring. It moved.
I'll be honest, Josh, like I said, I thought you were going to find it too slow, but I'm glad you didn't. I really am glad that you didn't.
No,
I just
thought it was very
good.
No, I thought it was very well done, very well written. Again, it makes me want to see what Del Toro would have done with The Incredible Hulk, because he was supposed to write that TV series. And God, the strength of when he went up to the guy and broke his jaw and tore it off, and then broke the other guy's arm, and
the wolves.
The wolves.
Yes.
Oh my!
Skinned a wolf.
God. Good Lord. Jeez, some of it, yeah, it was intense. It was definitely intense, but I think it was very well done. Are they doing they're not going to do a sequel, right?
Oh, no.
I don't think so.
This is a one-off.
Yeah,
because they kept talking about having someone with him. So I'm like, oh, are they introducing Bride of Frankenstein? But I know
it's because in the book, Frankenstein asks for a bride. asks for a
Yes.
female like him.
Right.
And that's what he wanted. He wanted somebody that he could be with, because death didn't have this didn't come to him the same way as anybody else. So he was going to be living alone. He wanted companionship.
Okay. And then I'm excited for the one with Christian Bell. I'm curious on Bride of Frankenstein when it comes out next year, what they do with that.
Like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. I'm not too sure about that one. That might be a little too.
I'll see it just because it had Christian Bale.
Yeah, I want to see what Christian Bale does with it. That's like a different interpretation, but yeah.
Awesome.
And Christoph Waltz was phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's really good at everything.
Seeing him. Derek and I loved Inglourious Bastards. I mean, that's one of our top 5 movies. I mean, Christoph Waltz, he is so good.
One of the best acting performances ever is him in that movie.
Which one? In Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, is him in any movie?
What's funny is he gives a great performance, in that role, and then plays something completely opposite in Django Unchained just a few minutes or a couple of years later, and he was just as great in that. He's good in everything.
In everything he does, and I didn't know at first he was sick, until he obviously took off the wig and, had syphilis. And Oscar Isaac, bravo! What an amazing performance he did. I
hated him so much.
The way he snapped and the way he, chained up the monster, like Bob said, and saying, "Here is the sun, warmth," and then just like turned on him. And, you could probably say this chaotic genius. That the Bride movie with Bale seems tone-wise all over the place. At least that's how I felt from the trailer. I'll check it out, but not expecting much. Okay. I don't know. Just like Bob said, Christian Bell. Let's just see what happens.
For me, Walter, just real quick, Josh. To me, The Bride feels like it should have that's what Joker 2 should have been. As far as them kind of going across everywhere, causing trouble and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I think that should have been. But that one's going to be interesting. We'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, definitely. And what else? Interesting how the father was just really on Oscar Isaac's character, on Victor's character from an early age, teaching him about medicine. And, in a way, the father helped to create the monster. And,
well, he did, because he created Victor.
Yes.
Victor's the monster.
Victor turns out to be the same level of monster as his father was.
Right. Pushing all the medical, talking about like the tricuspid valve in the heart chamber and him getting it wrong and taking, the belt and hitting him against the hand. And so.
No, he didn't actually hit his hands. Remember? Because those are the tools of a surgeon. Now your face is vanity.
That's right. Interesting how the mother that he couldn't save his wife.
Wait, I have to ask this. Did you guys notice that Mia Goth played the mom?
Who?
No, I didn't catch that.
Mia Goth played the mom.
Who is Mia?
So she was the mother too?
Yeah, she's the mom.
Oh my goodness, how did I miss that?
I missed that entirely.
Because they put eyebrows on her.
Is that what it was?
I've seen it twice now.
Yeah, Mia Goth played the mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I like that.
The actress that plays Elizabeth plays Victor's mom.
How about that?
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Interesting.
Dang.
But yeah, what a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Dark, but interesting, visually stunning. He was a sad character, but really played the part well, and a little bit different. What was the main difference from the book? Because I don't remember the book.
There's quite a few. So,
with like Victor or
in general, I guess. Is there anything that stands out?
Like in the book, Elizabeth was actually Victor's significant other, not the brothers. The brother doesn't have as big of a role in the book. The ending is different. The creature is actually even more brutal in the book. The story where it tells the creature's story in the book is actually told from Victor's point of view, where he's like retelling the story that the creature told him. So there's some differences, but overall, I think it's fairly faithful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think if you want to see something that's closer to the book, that's the one that I was talking about, the Robert De Niro version.
Yeah.
The 1994. What's his name? Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth
Branagh.
Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh. Yeah. So that one is supposed to be a little bit more faithful to a faithful adaptation to the book. So this one, like, I've been seeing a lot of people saying that they didn't like it because it wasn't faithful to the book, whatever. But then I was saying that this is Guillermo del Toro's interpretation, and that's why they didn't call it Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and instead it's called Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, like unofficially. So that's why he kind of made his version of it. And actually, I kind of probably like his version better than the book, because like I said, yeah, the one with Robert De Niro, like, he scared me. I didn't like him in that movie. He was so like, he's supposed to be like all brutal and stuff. So he ends up killing Elizabeth, and that's how she becomes the Bride of Frankenstein, because he's like, well, I'm gonna take something from you, but now we have a corpse, so you can give her to me now. Yes. So
all right.
So yeah, that's what changed over here too. I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that with Mia Goth too, because that would have been kind of hard to like, all right, let's find another lab and let's rebuild this whole thing. So yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't do that.
Okay. All right, Babo, go ahead.
So you all have already said a lot about this movie, and I mean, I could talk about the visuals again, which are absolutely stunning. I could talk about the acting performances, which are fantastic. Give these people all the Oscars. Set design, the production, the costumes, the makeup. He was in the makeup chair for 10 hours with this thing. So, and to do that daily, I mean, what dedication to the role. I thought his performance was fantastic. What I think is important to this tale and this version of it is that it catches the themes that are important for Frankenstein. You got to catch those themes of creation, those themes of isolation.
Right.
You have the themes of father and son and regret and all of this stuff, and the consequences of your actions. You know, what happens after you do something, because Victor is obsessed, and obsession is a theme here too. So he is so obsessed with doing this thing of reanimating dead tissue and somebody who's gone and bringing them back to life, that he has no thought about the aftermath of it. It's all about the action itself.
Right.
He is so obsessed with that in success that he has no thought about the aftermath of that. And that is where what happens is afterwards is where the tragedy of this story comes in, because of his actions and his treatment of the creature. And a lot of this goes back to the treatment that he received from his own father. And that's all he knows. And so he kind of transfers that onto the creature. Now, is that an excuse? No, it's not an excuse, but that's what he does. And he's so focused on the act that it's actually what creates the sense of isolation that the creature feels and the direction that the creature ends up going. And thankfully, the creature ends up having some moments of companionship with the older man, and he has kind of that connection with Elizabeth and whatnot. And so he gets a little bit of that, but not what he actually needed. He needed it from Victor. And those are the themes that I think that are important here to this particular story. And I think that it's excellent the way Del Toro has highlighted these themes and the way they come out in this retelling of Frankenstein. And I love the ending, that the two finally are able to have a true father-son relationship in which they actually refer to each other as father and son. And I think that that's so important because it gives the story a little bit more hope than what the book does. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of it, that the two were able to get some closure, because I think that's important to those characters, and it really fleshes out their story throughout in the arc that they go on. Because you see Victor go on this kind of almost a villain's tale, because he ends up becoming the villain. He ends up becoming the monster. He has regrets for what he does, and really he doesn't even give it a second thought. And it's only until he hears the pain that the creature went through that he realizes, gosh, I really screwed up here. And he's able to have that moment of reconciliation with the creature. And I think that that's an absolutely beautiful scene. I really loved that. There's just so much to unpack with this version of this story. And I think that Del Toro has just absolutely hit a home run with this one. I think, is this a masterpiece? I don't know if I'd quite call it that, but I'm going in that direction. That's the thing, because I liked it just even more the second time I saw it, and then I watched the behind the scenes, and I began to appreciate it even more. The amount of detail that they put into making this, just to build the lab for it only to be in the film for just a few minutes. The detail that went into that, and the detail of the creation of the creature and everything. There was just so much that went into this. And you mentioned this, Lily, the use of color, the costume designs, and everything. There's just so much here. I think that this is an absolute home run. I really enjoyed this film. And again, it's the themes to me that really spoke to me. And I think that that's the most important thing of this story. And Del Toro just absolutely nailed them here. I really enjoyed this version of this movie and this story. I can't wait to watch this again. I really liked this. I'm looking forward to seeing more about this. And we saw that message earlier about the bride. I don't even think that's going to get close to this. I'm curious to see it. I think it'll be fun, but I don't think it's going to even touch this. This is something absolutely incredible. It's, like I said, it's a home run.
How about the use of archetypes in this movie?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's all of that stuff there. I mean, but you expect that because it's in the book. And I think that, again, he just absolutely hit a home run with this one. He had a very clear vision, and we already know he's a visionary director, and his vision really came through on this one. And you pointed out, Lily, that this is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. The best way I can kind of describe this is that this is almost like Peter Jackson with the Lord of the Rings, in that he's capturing the spirit of this. And I think it's a pretty faithful adaptation, but there's enough changes to where it is his vision, kind of like what Peter Jackson did, in which he made some changes, but it's his vision and interpretation of that, of Tolkien's work. And he was faithful to the spirit of that. And I think that Del Toro was faithful to the spirit of this. Fantastic movie. I loved it.
And he's been working on this for 30 years.
Yes, he's wanted to make this movie.
Like he wanted to make this movie for the last 30 years. And I think that they didn't want to release it because they didn't think there would be like any like nobody would want to go watch it. But I think Nosferatu definitely proved everybody wrong, is that there is an audience for these types of movies, and like gothic horror and gothic romances are actually a lot of movies that people want to go see. Because the thing is that he made Crimson Peak, and I think a lot of the studios are probably lost faith in letting him make these types of movies because they think that no one would see it. But the thing that happened with Crimson Peak is that they marketed it as a horror, gothic horror, and it actually isn't. It's a gothic romance. So when people went to go watch it for the ghost story, which of course it is too, but they were expecting like horror and jump scares and all kinds of crazy horror stuff, and it didn't happen. So word of mouth, I think, killed this movie. And Guillermo del Toro has said this himself, that he had no control over the way it was marketed. And that's why it didn't make any money. And I think that's why people thought that these types of movies are something that the audience didn't want to go see. But clearly, if you market it correctly to your audience, there is an audience for it. And these types of movies, I think, are going to hit. Like Robert Eggers is coming up with Werewolf, so that we're getting his interpretation of a werewolf story. I'm pretty sure Guillermo del Toro is probably already working on his next project. So there is an audience for this. So I'm so happy, because like these movies look so beautiful. Like they're putting all the thought into the costumes, the sets, all of it is just so beautiful. So I'm happy. I'm so happy that these two directors are bringing the Gothic genre back. sorry, Derek.
No, you do not have to apologize. Because honestly, there's not much I'm going to be able to say here other than what you guys already did. Look, if this isn't a masterpiece, it's dang near close to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much better you could really do.
No.
Mr. Del Toro has a way to get down to detail unlike anybody I've ever seen. I'm talking down to wrinkles on a face. That's how magnified he gets with it. Every little thing matters to him. And because it matters to him so much, that's what resonates through the camera more than anything. And that's why the visuals are so beautiful, because he takes everything into account. And I mean down to like buttons on a suit, like that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
He honestly, this film, this clocked in about what, 2.5 hours, give or take?
Yeah, it was 2 hours, 29 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This could have been 3 films. This could have been 3 different movies.
Yes,
They all would have looked different. They all would have felt different. And I was thinking that, like, while I was watching, like, because when Victor doesn't treat the monster like nicely at all, I was like, yeah, but they didn't like that should have been explained more. Like, you turned into the asshole your dad was.
Yeah, right away too, Derek.
Yeah.
Right away.
Like immediately.
Like it was like he was resentful.
Yeah, he hated them. He hated what he had created, but it's like he didn't have an idea about what it was going to look like once he got to the other side of it. He just wanted to take the victory and forget about it after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Then he looked at like what he created as a burden. Like, what an asshole.
Yeah, well, he expected it to be walking and talking and
as smart as him,
pong and doing everything. And no, that's not what he got. He got a baby. That's what he got.
He got the baby, and that's how he needed to look at it, and never did. And the fact that he sets the whole place ablaze with the creature in it, that is a level of a-hole that I didn't think many people were possible of. Not that a lot of people are, but like my point being, wow. And by the end of it, that was right here when Victor and the creature share that scene together. Because he finally is able to say, like, I am filled with so much regret. Like, I am so sorry. And you could tell the monster he was about to lose it. Because that was all he wanted to hear, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
And then, to your point, Lily, about the eyes, this is how you notice that Frankenstein's a different monster than all the others. When he walked out, and the captain's, everybody put your guns down. And they all do. When he walks out and he looks at all of them, that is not the face of a monster. That is a face of a creature that wants to be loved.
Yeah.
And when he walks in, and then when he gets off the boat, he just looks at him and just pushes the boat, like, you get on out. Like, that's it.
Beautifully done.
Yeah.
And then just like to your point about the monster, did you guys also notice, like, because Derek brought this up, that the level of detail that Del Toro put into this, if you guys notice, every single time that the monster is actually being a monster, they focus on his left eye, that
yeah,
that it like glows, because the way that Del Toro described it is that that's actually not a human eye. That I think Victor had put in like an animal eye. So that's why that's like his beast side. So whenever he's in a rage, they focus on his left eye.
Yeah, that was good.
So good.
Again, the attention to detail. And then he got the camera shots to show that too. It's brilliant. It leaves you like just emotionally spent by the end of it. Like you get done with that movie and you're like, God, like you're exhausted, emotionally exhausted, but in the best way too. It's not bad at all. It's like I cannot believe what I just watched and how magnificent that was.
Right.
So if anybody is looking for what is probably going to be the movie of this year, I don't think you have to look any farther.
Yeah. I think this is my movie of the year too.
I think this takes the cake. And Bob, now to be fair, Bob, I didn't see F1. I didn't want to. But I will, and then I'll make the comparison, and we'll see if that one holds up.
Totally different types of movies. I need to rewatch F1 because I already rewatched Frankenstein. But like right now, I'm not sure which one I enjoyed more, but they're very, very close as being my favorite movies of the year. Those two to me are the best movies that I've seen this year. And I've seen so many stinkers and again, totally different types of movies. Like I think this is probably the best made film of the year. And the F1 is something completely different. So I don't want to even compare the two. Those just happen to be my favorite movies of the year.
I got you. And they are two different films, like entirely. So
we appreciate that because we are definitely not professionals over here. So.
No, whatsoever. No, not at all. Wrong place to be looking for that for me. It really is. It's a really touching film by the end of it, and it's really something that everybody should see. It's gonna take you through a roller coaster of emotion. Like, be ready because there is a lot that happens here, but it is all worth it. It's all worth it. It's like you said, Lily, like. I'm sure there's like probably 8 different places in this film where people just started bawling.
Oh,
like, it has that emotional capability to it. It's really, really amazing.
Yeah. Oh man.
I can't say enough about it, man.
Awesome movie.
Mr. Del Toro, you made it. You made a beauty. You really, really did. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what you do next, because like Quentin Tarantino, I don't think I've seen a bad one. Yeah, you name it. I can't think of one. So I can't wait to see what his mind comes up with next. He's great.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Thank you for this.
I think there was news that he wanted to tackle the Phantom of the Opera next.
Yeah, I kind of heard that too. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
he'd be perfect for it.
I'm a diehard Phantom of the Opera fan, so I would be
as much as Frankenstein, though, Josh.
Oh yeah, diehard Frankenstein.
Okay.
Okay, see, the story behind that, Lily, is that when we saw the first trailer for Frankenstein, Josh, after he saw the trailer, he was like, "Oh, I'm a big Frankenstein fan," and I just stopped. I was like, "When did you get a big Frankenstein fan? I've never heard you talk about Frankenstein in your life."
Oh yes, many times when we used to go driving in the car somewhere, I'd be like, "They really need to make a new Frankenstein movie." You'd be like, "Oh yeah.
Liar!
Which one was that, Derek or Bob?
Well, that was me. I had to do that one. So,
well,
you won't need to.
Yeah.
It's so. If he does Phantom of the Opera, though, it's going to be hard to top this one, though. That's going to take a lot of creativity. Now, he hasn't done has he ever done a musical before? That could be where he.
I don't. Oh well, I don't think it counts as a musical, but it has a musical number in it. Is The Shape of Water? So he has some musical numbers in there, but it's not a musical.
Yeah, I don't.
But that proves he could make a musical, I think.
So that's no. That's a great point. So if he's set up the chops where it looks like he can. Like I don't think he's going to take that on and fail. Like he's way too good. So if he does that, he'll shoot for masterpiece on that too. I have no doubt.
Well, his since Bob was bringing up like great stories about how this is like father son. So the new Pinocchio that he actually made too is a really, really good one. If people want to see another story like that, I went into it like, what could you possibly do with a Pinocchio movie? Like, really? And then I came out of that one devastated and like bawling my eyes out too.
Mr. Del Toro again with "Hold My Beer." Watch this.
Yeah, I came out of this movie so like embarrassed because I had been crying so much through the whole thing that I was like, nobody look at me right now. My eyes are like this right now.
So, and to go back to the limited release thing, the closest theater around here was about 13 miles away, which shocked me because I'm like, there's like 6 theaters like in between here and there. Like they couldn't find one. And I was just like, nah, I guess I'll just wait. And that was a bad idea. That was a terrible idea. I should not have done that.
Yes,
I should have made the drive. Shut up.
Yeah, especially when I went clear across town. That was like 30 minutes away.
Oh yeah, that's no traffic in LA. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So what?
Be dedicated,
I can
Josh.
I can kind of guess, but like, have they really or Bob? Maybe you know. I don't know if you guys know why did Netflix not decide to release this in theaters? I don't understand, because to me it doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, I know, I guess it does, that they want people to subscribe to Netflix to watch it, but to me that makes no sense, because when you go to the movie theater and let's say you're a family or your friends want to get together and there's 5 of you pay a ticket versus one person buying for a subscription service, and then your whole family, your friends, everyone can come over and have like a movie night. Wouldn't Netflix make more of a profit if they had given him the money to make it, put it in theaters, and then they get a profit out of that, but then they put it on the streaming service as well?
Okay, I have a theory. I think this is a trial run for them. I think they did this to see how many people would actually go for it, just in a limited capacity. So they didn't want to go full enchilada with it. They just wanted to see they wanted to test waters. I think that's what this first one was. So this is my idea. This is what I've been saying the whole time. Is that Netflix should take their stuff, put it out there. Even if it's a show, put it out there. Like, just give it a shot. See if people would go see it. Because if it's that good of a movie, people will. And so if they were able to do that and be successful at it, I think you're going to start seeing more of this. Where if there's like strictly a streaming service movie, they're going to be like, okay, we think this has got a real shot in theaters for like whatever it is. Call it like 3 weeks, right? And then after 3 weeks, it's on streaming only. We're going to give you one little window, and that's going to be it. But you would release it for 3 weeks straight, and it would be a mass theater distribution. It would be a theater-wide distribution. It would not be limited, or it shouldn't be.
And see, I get what you're saying, and that makes sense to me. But I feel like this was the wrong movie to do it with because of the absolute detail and type of artist that Guillermo del Toro is. I feel like they wasted this movie by not making it available to everybody, because there's so many people who are upset watching it at home. It's just not the same at home.
So I think
this is a theater movie.
No, I agree. What I think they should have done was taken one of their really popular series, like a Stranger Things as an example, and put like the season finale in like a Netflix, like in a movie theater capacity to test to see if people would actually go to the theater to see it. From
Which
Netflix.
they're going to do. So
which they're gonna do. But Lily, to your point, this was not the movie to test that with, because it's too impactful. Like it's too much. There's so much good about this. Like, you can't just say, oh, we'll make this one the trial run. Like, no. If anything, this was the one where you were ready to say, we're ready to pull trigger. We'll go all across all theaters with this.
See, the thing though is, I think they should have just pulled the trigger, because we've had a couple of streaming films show up. Now, some of them were back during the pandemic and stuff like that. Like, for example, what was that movie with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock? Was it Red Notice? That one got like a small theatrical release.
Oh yeah.
There's been a couple here and there, and then coming up is the new Knives Out movie is going to get a theatrical release.
That's right.
So I think with this one they should have just pulled the trigger, and they should have just said, you know what, let's give it a month. Let's give it a month out there. And what they should have done is released it like when they did, right around Halloween time, and then let it run all the way through November, and then right after Thanksgiving, release it. Release it back to Netflix at that point, because you're going to have all those holiday movies coming out anyway. You know, you got Wicked coming out around that time. Yeah. You've got, the next Avatar movie coming out. And so you got all these coming out during that holiday time. So I think that since there weren't a whole lot of Halloween movies to begin with, give Frankenstein its full month out there. You probably could have even released it at the beginning of October, or maybe like mid-October, and let it run all the way through mid-November, right before Wicked comes out, and you give it a full month release in theaters, and then bam, you pull it at that point. Because again, you got Wicked coming out, you got Zootopia 2 coming out. All of those are coming out late November. So that would have been the perfect time to pull it at that point.
But like a wide release, though, not just a
wide
couple
release,
of theaters, because
not just a handful of theaters.
Yeah, not just a handful. Or they should have had like a plan that, okay, you know what, people are actually going to watch this in theaters. Maybe, okay, release, like, we're now in stage 2, so now we're going to put it in these theaters. And you know what, people are showing up to that one. You know what, stage 3, release it like nationwide. Yeah. Like, we need to put it nationwide. And this is really, really frustrating to me, because I've been seeing like there's only so much that you can kind of like do to get like word of mouth out there. And what's frustrating to me is that I keep seeing like on Twitter a whole lot of people that are like, I don't have one near me. I don't have a theater near me. I'm not able to go. I'm not able to travel the 1 hour to go watch it. Like, this looks fantastic. I want to watch it. And then what frustrates me even more too is like Guillermo del Toro all over his Twitter account too. He's like, this is still in theater, guys. Go watch it in theaters. I know that it's on Netflix, but like, go watch it in theaters, please. And that like breaks my heart, because like we've been talking, this is something that he's wanted to make for 30 years, and I feel like he just made the deal with Netflix because no one else would have fronted the money for him to make it the way that he wanted. Yeah. But no, like, it just breaks my heart that not enough people are going to see it the way that he intended for it to be seen. And this is so annoying to me. Like, it's breaking my heart. So I don't know if maybe they'll try to do what they did with K-pop Demon Hunters, that they released it in theater for a little bit. It was on Netflix, but then they saw that people were really, really into it. And then I guess now they're putting it back in theaters again, right, for like another run or something. Yeah. So maybe they'll put it, maybe they'll have like a wider release for it. Because
like, this needed some IMAX screenings.
Yes, yeah. and it pisses me off that we have IMAX here and we're not getting it in IMAX. I'm like, what happened? Like, I don't think everybody's gonna run out to watch Predator Badlands. So, like
where the theater where I went to see it at, they have an IMAX screen there, and instead it was shown on a very small screen, and there was nothing really showing that was brand new. I mean, Predator hadn't released yet, and next week you've got, or later, not even next week, this week, you got The Running Man and Now You See Me, Now You Don't coming out. So yeah, this could have gotten an IMAX release, especially during that Halloween time. Again, when there wasn't really a whole lot out. The only thing that really I expected to get an IMAX release during that time was Tron Ares, just because of the scope of it. But nothing else during the month of October even came close to warranting that type of release. This did.
Yeah, it did. And yeah, that pissed me off too, because I was looking for the showtimes also. And like I said, I was looking for something on the biggest screen ever. And the only one that had it was Alamo Drafthouse, but we had to pay like a lot for the tickets. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really expensive, because I usually go to the Cinemarks.
Yeah,
I don't really go to Alamo, but this one was the only one that was showing it in their big giant screen. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. It's going to be worth it. I'm going to pay whatever just to watch this. And it was so worth it, but it's a shame. It's a shame that a lot of people aren't getting to watch this.
Yeah, it is, because this movie is amazing and it deserved a wider release. But you know what? At least people seem to be enjoying this thing. Where is it? Hold on.
But it's also even sad though, because I was reading also that maybe they didn't even have those intentions, Derek. Like you're giving them way too much of a like you're giving them way too much credit for saying that maybe this was a trial run, because from what I understand is that they needed to put this movie into theaters for a certain time for them to actually be Oscar contenders. So that's why they released it in theaters for a while. But I don't know. I don't know what the real story is. That's why I was like, I don't know if one of you guys has read it or like if you know. But that's what I've heard.
So my understanding is it got the release because of the backlash that fans wanted to see it. But I'm sure it probably has a lot to do with what you said, that they wanted it to get some Oscar contention. So even though people aren't getting to see it on the big screen, they are saying that this movie debuted with 29.1 million views in its first week. And that's pretty crazy. I think they said that that's like the number 3 movie of the year. I'm surprised it's not the number 1, but 29.1 million views. That's awesome. 73.6 million hours viewed during that time. So yeah, people are eating this up.
Like 10 million of those are just me.
and Walter, I'm glad you brought that up, because we actually were talking about that earlier, that Nosferatu really showed that there's an audience for this. So yeah, this needed a much wider release, and it's too bad that it didn't get it. It's great that people are digging this, and hopefully Netflix and other streaming services in the future won't be afraid to give their streaming movies that theatrical release. Just pull the trigger on it, because there's so much garbage that comes out nowadays that, you know what, when you have something like this, take a shot on it, especially when we've already talked about how an audience is looking for something original. Yeah, okay, this is not necessarily original, but it's not exactly a true reboot or remake either. This is something different. It's a unique vision of this. It's okay to get a different adaptation of this.